Hey guys, I'm Randy.
And I'm Daniel.
We're two lifelong friends and musicians, but when we're not playing gigs, we like to talk games.
And today on the Gaming Gig podcast, we're discussing whether or not PlayStation dropped the ball with their most recent State of Play.
So, PlayStation did the State of Play. I think they had one really important thing they needed to do, for me, personally, which was make me excited about the PlayStation VR 2.
Which you already have.
Which I already have, but they needed to make me excited about it. Tell me about all the cool games that were coming out.
Yeah.
Because they said in advance, hey, we're going to be showcasing PSVR 2 games. And we knew also at the end they were going to be doing a big thing about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Isn't that funny when you already own something and you still watch a video, wanting to see things about it?
Yes.
I do that with Steam Deck.
Well, I mean, there's just not many games for the PSVR 2. And so I wanted to see what upcoming games I had to look forward to.
Right.
And so I was very pumped to see this. And I have to say, the games that they showed for PSVR 2, there was one of them that caught my attention. I thought it looked cool, but only because it reminded me a lot of Super Hot, which I love.
Okay. Yeah, Super Hot's awesome.
So I was kind of disappointed by that. And then after that, the State of Play just didn't get a whole lot better for me.
So it didn't have any better VR games for you than Horizon Call of the Vomit.
Call of the Vomit. I haven't had any issues with it, but I know you would.
That's not a dig on the game. The game looks amazing. I just know it would make me puke. That's all.
Yeah, well, it does have a lot of movement options, I think, but I put it on the give me everything you got setting.
Yeah.
And
of course you do.
But I have no motion sickness.
I'm sure Catherine has not played that though.
No, I'm sure she definitely hasn't. I put a poll out and I said, did anything from the PlayStation State of Play interest you? And I kind of had a suspicion that most people were going to say Resident Evil 4 remake. Even though that wasn't the primary focus of the State of Play, I kind of figured that would be the main thing. And of course, that was the thing most people are excited about. 51% of people said that. Only 14% of people said Suicide Squad. And I think that this direct actually hurt Suicide Squad a lot. I think that after seeing it, a lot of people are less excited about the game than they were before.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way.
And 15% of people said the PSVR 2 games, and then 20% of people said something else. So it's sad that RE4 Remake was the most hyped thing in this State of Play. I keep saying direct. I don't know why.
Because we're Nintendo boys.
We're Nintendo. This State of Play. And I didn't want to see any more Resident Evil 4 Remake because I'm already sold on it. I don't want to see more.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird to me that you keep saying it's sad because I know you're such a Resident Evil fan and I know you're hyped for RE4. But I think what's sad about it is that that's not what they wanted.
Right, that's what
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I'm super excited about RE4 Remake, very excited. But I don't want to see any more of it. I didn't need to see any more. They don't need to sell me on it. I'm going to buy the game.
Right.
And I think a lot of people are in that same position, whereas we're just waiting for it to come out.
Right. But you're not going to buy Suicide Squad.
Some of it looked okay to me, but something just feels off about it.
Well, as you know, I was watching some gameplay right before we rolled cameras.
Yeah.
And the gameplay does look kind of fun.
It does.
But I just don't know how much substance that really is going to have for me. And it weirds me out that everybody can fly.
Well, not fly, but they can move around a lot.
I know they can't literally fly, but
yeah,
it just seems like you fly around in the sky and shoot purple orbs.
Yeah, and we only had one person comment on this poll and say that they were interested in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and that was Anna Smith.
Anna Smith.
I don't know how you pronounce that, but
Anna Smith.
Anna Smith. I don't know, but only one person
Anna Smith
commented and said they were excited about this game. So
I'm glad you're excited. I hope it's good.
You know what feels off to me about it is the fact that it is a game that has to always be online. And you're supposed to play through the game with friends, up to 4 friends. And if you don't have any friends, they just fill the spots with bots. And how are you going to have progression if you're playing with your friends? What if you're at different points of the story? It just doesn't feel like it's going to work. I don't see how it's going to work.
They've got to have that figured out, right? Because that's a good point.
Obviously.
I mean, progression, that'd really piss somebody off.
Right. Progression just feels off to me. I just don't see how they're going to make it work. It was they want it to be a single player story driven experience, but they also want it to be a multiplayer cooperative experience. And it just like, I'm afraid that it's going to be one of those games that doesn't work either way.
Right. And I'm also going ahead and calling it right now. You ain't killing Batman and Superman.
Right.
They ain't going to let you do it. No, Superman's already died in the comics. Like, I get it. It was a big deal. Batman probably has too at some point. But the only thing I can say that does kind of lend a little credibility to the title is that the voice actor, Kevin Conroy, I think is his name, that did the Batman voice in the animated show, as well as the Arkham games, and I'm pretty sure in this, for his final performance, passed away. So, I mean, maybe they're going to try to send the character off that way. I don't know. But
yeah,
I think it's going to turn into Suicide Squad cures the Justice League.
Yeah, I mean, like the plot does seem, it's a cool plot. I do think the plot is cool.
It is cool.
And I think that is interesting. And I do think some of the gameplay looks fun. But I agree with you. I don't think that they're going to be killing off the Justice League. Maybe they'll kill Flash.
Yeah, I was about to say they've shown Flash an awful lot.
Yeah.
They might let you take Flash now. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe Aquaman if we're lucky.
Well, we'll just have to see. I didn't see Aquaman in the or maybe
he's in the Justice League.
Yeah. Was he in the trailer though? In that most recent trailer?
I don't think so, but he's in the Justice League is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
If he's not there, that's kind of weird.
So, I don't know. I think the hype for Suicide Squad now is at an all-time low.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you watch the extended thing where they kind of broke down exactly what the game was going to look like. After the trailer, they did about 10, 15 minutes of just showing what all it was like. And one of the things that really stood out to me is, one, there's a battle pass right up front. They say it's all cosmetic, but it's like a big part of the game. And there are tons of menus and upgrades for different weapons and different ways you can customize. And it's like, it just seemed like menu overload, which I'm kind of over for the most part. I don't mind when a game has a lot of menus as long as it's done really well. Mm-hmm. But it didn't look very good to me. It just seemed like way too much info. Every gun had tons of stats, and it just was like, okay, this is overwhelming. I just don't know how I can get through this.
Yeah, that kind of stuff kind of gets to me as well. I mean, The Witcher can do that if you let it, and it's a great game. So
yeah, sometimes games will do it, but it'll be optional, only for the people who like really want to get into it. But then it kind of degrades the importance of doing it, and then it's like, okay, what's the point? So I don't know. Suicide Squad just kind of feels off to me. I just got to wait and see what it's going to be like.
Well, we've got another comment here.
Yeah.
From Lobestrol.
Lobestrol.
Says, even though I've yet to fully dive into the Resident Evil games, I'm very interested in checking out the remake for 4 when I can.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the same boat, actually.
Yeah.
I've only played like one Resident Evil game.
You played, what, 3 remake?
Mm-hmm, and I liked it. But I definitely do want to try 4 because it's supposed to be like one of the best games of all time. So
yeah.
Why not play it?
4 was a really great game. I played through 4 in VR, oddly, and loved the game. Thought it was just a really great Resident Evil game. Of course, I'm a big fan of the Resident Evil games in general, but 4 definitely, I see why it's such a renowned game. People love that game. And they're adding a VR mode to this one, so it'll be on the PSVR 2.
There you go.
So I might get to play through Resident Evil 4 in VR twice. Who knows?
What a blessing.
But it's a great game. It really is. And I think that as long as they do this remake right, which they've done the other 2 remakes, 2 and 3, really, they were great games. Phenomenal games. So I don't see why RE4 remake won't be great. Ray Chi, thank you for commenting again, said, I only played the first and second remakes. I didn't like the change of style for RE2. Sometimes the camera angles change everything in a video game, and Resident Evil 1 was scary because of it. But I will give it a go because it's a cult classic, just like Metroid Prime. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep, sneaking in Metroid Prime at the end there, respect.
Yeah, I still haven't played the Metroid Prime.
We screwed up, man. We should have pre-ordered it.
I know.
We'll be able to find it, though.
I've got it coming through GameFly, as long as it doesn't get stolen.
Yeah, but I want to own it.
I do, too. And normally GameFly lets you keep the things they send you for a discounted price, and they won't even let you do it on this one, so they must have limited stock.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about it. But I think eventually you'll be able to find one.
I think what has happened is Nintendo was surprised at how many people wanted it, and I think they did a limited run, and then I think they'll print more cartridges. Yeah, I really do.
I do, too.
I think it'll be one of those situations like, oh, wait, there's way more demand than we thought. Let's make another run, another printing, and they'll do it. I hope.
All right. We got another one from, this is Heather Cook, right?
Heather Cook, Black Rhino Films.
Yeah, says, nothing seemed like the kind of game I'd play.
I'm almost in the same boat. I mean, like
Yeah.
there were some things that were interesting, like RE4. Obviously, I'm super excited about. That is definitely the type of game I'm going to play. But like I said, I didn't want to see anymore, so I didn't need to.
Right.
Other than that, there was a VR game, one or two that looked at least like I might enjoy them, but nothing that like got me hyped. I'll just be honest, nothing got me super hyped.
You know, it's funny you keep saying I don't need to see more of Resident Evil 4 because that's kind of how I feel about Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
But have you noticed that the conversation about Tears of the Kingdom has kind of shifted?
In what way?
It's become, is Tears of the Kingdom too much like Breath of the Wild?
That's exactly what I want it to be like. I don't have an issue with that.
Yeah, and I see that side, yeah. But yeah, a lot of people are saying that, you know, oh, it looks like Breath of the Wild DLC. And then there's people that are saying like, well, Majora's Mask looked an awful lot like Ocarina of Time, you know?
It did.
But it was in like a different place. It wasn't in the same Hyrule, so...
How much of that do you think comes down to it just being in the same engine?
A lot.
And like same map?
And using the same... Well, I think the same map, same assets, all that has a... Obviously, that's what makes it look that way.
Right, so it's gonna be. I mean, there's no way you're gonna be able to make a game that's in the exact same engine, same map, all same assets, and it not feel very samey. Mm-hmm. But that's a good thing because you're talking about literally one of the best games of all time. Mm-hmm. So like, there's nothing wrong with just like putting out another game that uses those same formula. Like that's good in my mind.
People said the same thing about Ragnarok, right. and that ended up being a great game.
Yeah, and Ragnarok does look very similar to the other God of War game. I mean,
it does,
but it doesn't matter because you're just getting more of a really great game.
Right.
In my mind.
Anyway, a little bit of a sidebar there.
Yeah, that's okay. So next we got Critical Inspiration 2442 said that game Humanity looked cool. So Humanity was one of these games where you're controlling like hordes and hordes of people to get them through kind of like puzzle things and you have to do all kinds of stuff. You know, it reminded me of, in Ratchet, the newest Ratchet and Clank game, some of the missions where you had to be Clank and you had to go into that weird like other world and control those things to like get I don't even remember what exactly you were doing, but there were like these little side mission things where you had to
what was that?
Gosh, I don't know, but you had to get these things to the end and you had to like figure out a path they could take. And sometimes they would be like, you would have to move them around and avoid obstacles and you had to do all these things. It reminded me a lot of that.
Mm-hmm. I could see that. Yeah. I wish I could remember what you're talking about from Ratchet. I mean, I remember it. I just can't remember what it was called.
Me neither. It was kind of in like a spirit realm sort of thing. It reminded me of the gameplay from that. It didn't look like that, but it reminded me of like the same kind of gameplay things. Mm-hmm. It did look cool. I don't know that I'm that interested in playing it, but it did. That Humanity game looked cool.
So we got another comment from Is Mike Hindi?
Is he Mikey? Is he Mike?
Is he?
I don't know what the name is.
Is he Mike Hindi? Anyway.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's Street Fighter 6. Resident Evil 4 comes in close second, so close it's interchangeable.
Have you seen much stuff about Street Fighter 6?
Yeah. Did I? Yeah, I did say 6, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
6.
Yeah.
Sure.
I have seen some stuff about Street Fighter 6, and I always wish I liked traditional fighting games.
Same.
But I don't.
I don't either. I've never played one that I was like, man, I like this game.
No.
The only thing I've come close to is some of those old Dragon Ball games. Like on the PS2 era.
Like the Budokai games.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were fun.
But I don't know if I really
and
liked them.
Fighters is fun too. Dragon Ball Fighters is really fun.
I haven't tried that one yet, but I've watched you play a little bit of it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's because I was just a huge Dragon Ball fan at the time and like I would play anything that had Goku in it.
Right.
So that may have been it. I don't know that I really liked those games that much. I'd have to go back and play them.
If I was going to pick a new traditional fighting game in 2023, anyway, I guess it's 2023, for both of these that I'm about to talk about, I would hands down pick Tekken. Yeah. The new Tekken game looks so good. And this new Street Fighter game looks like it's got a bunch of like slice of life, like sidebar crap. And I'm not into that.
Yeah. I think both of them look good. Street Fighter 6 is obviously going for a different style.
Less gritty.
Yeah, much less gritty, but I think it looks very colorful. It looks interesting. Like I think both of them look good.
I think Tekken looks like next level good, though.
Yeah, I think that I would be possibly interested in trying either of them, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to buy them.
Yeah.
So
I'm not going to buy
That's the problem. I mean, like, they've almost got me interested enough to want to try it, but maybe I'll rent it. maybe. And then find out that just like every other, traditional fighting game I've ever played, I'm not that interested and I'll just send it back.
I know that's what'll happen to me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. We got Crumble. 7598 said, how about a nothing option? Like nothing interested in them at all.
sorry, Crumble.
I can't say I blame you. I mean, like there was a new Naruto game. It was a fighting sort of like game on there.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. It looked interesting. And then there was some other stuff but I don't know. Nothing really looked that interesting to me. I don't know. I'm not a Naruto person, so I have no idea.
Oh, it's the Ultimate Ninja Storm. It's another Ninja Storm game, but
yeah.
Oh, okay. I played a couple of those.
Oh, okay. It looked like some sort of fighting game. I don't know what they're called. They're called like arena brawlers. Is that a
Maybe.
genre of fighting game?
Maybe.
I'm not really into them. So
I mean, it's 3D. It's not like on a 2D plane.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I don't really know what those are called, but and then finally we have Celeria Rose who said Baldur's Gate 3, and the thing that made me somewhat interested in Baldur's Gate 3 is the co-op stuff, and I'm always down to try a co-op thing, but for some reason, and convince me to try it because I am somewhat interested, but I'm going to need some convincing. Is it just for whatever reason Baldur's Gate stuff has always seemed like intimidating to me, and I just haven't like wanted to get into that ecosystem, like get into it. I don't know why.
I don't really know much about Baldur's Gate, honestly. I mean, I know people like them, but
Yeah.
it doesn't look like anything that I've ever wanted to dive into.
Yeah, I mean, it looks interesting, but I don't know. I just need a little bit more convincing on as to why I would enjoy it, and would the co-op thing be something that I would like? Because I love co-op stuff. Mm-hmm. So, needless to say, you can tell from even just the comments and stuff, PlayStation really kind of dropped the ball on this thing here. They didn't show up and blow me away with PSVR 2 stuff. The main things they put were Suicide Squad and RE4, and both of those aren't even exclusives, so we didn't get any first-party stuff. It just wasn't a good state of play.
They almost pulled an Xbox.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's weird is like, okay, here's the next question is, these gaming presentations are now becoming a thing, and largely Nintendo has created this thing because they've been doing it the longest. So the question is who puts together the best presentations? And we put a poll together, and hit us with the results there, Daniel.
Well, I will. But
Okay,
before we do that,
okay.
I think it's important to do something we forget to do a lot, Randy. We need to tell the people about our Discord.
We do.
So we have a Discord, a Gaming Gig Discord server. It's got lots of great channels on it. We update them all the time. We got some great people over there. We like to talk Sea of Thieves, Fortnite, all things gaming.
It's a good way to keep track of the videos we post because every Gaming Gig video, whether it's the podcast or whether it's on the main channel or TikTok.
Or even a live stream on Twitch.
Yeah, they all get posted to the Discord and let you know when they're there. So it's an easy way to keep track of everything Gaming Gig.
Mm-hmm. And you can find a link to join that in all our video descriptions.
Yeah, so join us on Discord. We would love to see you on there. Like, it's a cool place. It's obviously small, but we would love to have you there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I'll hit you with the results.
Now, who puts together the best presentations?
Nintendo does. Oh, sorry. You want to know what the people said?
I want to know. Yeah.
The people said Nintendo does at 53%. At 19%, they said PlayStation. At 13%, they said Xbox. And at 15%, they said everybody's equal.
Yeah. I mean, in my mind, Nintendo has, not that every Nintendo Direct is amazing.
No, they're not all bangers.
But like that most recent Direct we had, that was a good one.
That was a banger.
And I think that is largely why this PlayStation State of Play just looks so bad. It was so close to this amazing Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
And I love PlayStation. I want great PlayStation games to be out there. But it was just disappointing for me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Nintendo, just the way they present, I mean, it's playful. Mm-hmm. It's like cozy, it's like cozy viewing. And generally there's something for me.
Right.
Everything's not going to be for me. A lot of times it's a lot of farming sims. But, what can you do?
I don't think Nintendo will ever live down that one Direct where it was like, it felt like 50% of the games they showed were farming sims.
I don't think they will.
That was only once, but gosh, it feels like it just kind of speaks to often what can happen with the Nintendo Direct, where it's like, okay, it's just a bunch of stuff that people aren't interested in.
It's Square Enix's fault, man. Like, a lot of them were Square games, like, if I remember correctly. And it's so weird because Square, like, they'll turn around and drop, like, the Final Fantasy VII Remake. You know, a certified, bona fide banger. And then they'll drop, like, 15 farming sims. And then they'll do, like, Octopath Traveler and bring in this, like, new, like, HD 2D style, you know. Everybody loves it. Blows all the expectations out of the water. And then there's, like, 16 farming sims. And then they'll drop Triangle Strategy and Live Alive, which... First time in North America ever. Yay, it's all hyped in this HD 2D style. And then farming sims.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Square, you're weird, but I like you.
Square just, they put out so many games. Well,
Yeah.
they publish so many games. They're just a huge publisher and developer. So it's just, what can you do?
I like Square a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a hard time, Square. Don't worry.
I'm sure they're watching.
They are.
They are.
They told me they would.
So,
They sent me a crap chat.
oh, did they? Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Nintendo, they've just been doing it for so long, they perfected it. And it's just hard to compare. Xbox, they don't even know what they're going to call it. The last one they called a Developer Direct. They're
What are
even
they
like
gonna put-
stealing the name.
What are they going to put in a presentation anyway? They don't release games anymore.
I'll tell you the best presentation that Xbox ever did was the one, it was in a, it was, I want to say it was like the,
The turn of the century.
maybe the one at the Game Awards 2020. I just have to go back and look. They did a really good one. It's the one that convinced me to buy a Series X. I was like, I've got to get one. They did a really good presentation.
I don't remember.
But that's-
I'm sure I saw it, but I don't
That's the
remember.
only one from Xbox that I've ever thought was great. Yeah. So
Anyway, we got some comments here. We got Miguel PC Gamer 9878.
GC Gamer, not PC.
Oh,
That's a G.
GC, my bad. Anyway, there's something wrong when the Game Awards presentation were far better than any State of Play or Xbox showcase in a while.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, Game Awards is weird. Game Awards, I think, I like the Game Awards. My main criticism is it's just too long. And I
Oh,
think
God,
that
it's so long.
if it was condensed, I think it would be really, really good.
They could make like the tightest 90 minutes ever.
Right? But they don't.
They
Instead,
make
it's
the
like
loosest,
3 hours.
like 180 minutes. Yeah, it's awful.
I don't know.
With a pre-show that lasts like 6.
I
They
think
like WrestleMania, that thing.
they really do.
WrestleMania is like a 48-hour event now.
And I get that, like, they want it to be that way. They want it to be like one of the biggest events in gaming of the year. They want it to be like the Grammys of.
I mean, it
Gaming.
kind of is.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
Yeah, I know. I do look forward to it. I just wish it was shorter.
You look forward to it way more than I do.
I like that kind of stuff.
I
I don't know.
almost
I
dread
like
it.
getting wrapped up in the hype. I don't know. I just like it.
I'm pretty Game Awards hype resistant. I mean, I do watch them, but I mean, I fell asleep at the end of the last one, so
Yeah.
I missed the great Bill Clinton kid moment.
I know.
Why? I mean, I saw it. I've seen it about 1,000,000 times, but
Next, we got Caleb, who, old Punchy Punch, who said, I'm saying Nintendo, though my choice is mostly because of the amazing Smash presentations and some directs. Star Fox Zero and Smash 4s are fun. Reggie showing off the Wii and DS at old E3s is definitely a highlight, too.
heck yeah, Reggie. Invoking the name.
Reggie.
Everybody
Yeah.
loves Reggie.
Yeah. I mean, did you like when Nintendo used to do the live presentations, or do you prefer their new, like, just the pre-recorded directs that are, tighter?
I think I kind of like their pre-recorded directs
Yeah.
because they're so tight, But it is fun seeing somebody on a stage.
Yeah.
So-
I did like when Nintendo did the live stuff, but I think that in general, the pre-recorded directs are better.
Yeah, I'll take it either way.
Yeah. I just think in general they're better. Mm-hmm. All right.
All right, sorry, I got lost in the sauce there.
Yeah.
Nin Blasto said Nintendo easily. I wonder where that username came from. Saying Nintendo, that's crazy. Anyway, even when you get a lot of farm simulators, there is still a lot to look forward to.
The Farm Sims.
My
See?
man.
No, I mean, I do think that generally a Nintendo Direct has like at least one surprising, like, cool thing.
Even if that surprising cool thing is 15 farm simulators.
At least it was surprising, Oh my gosh, the Farm Sims. Next, we got TW9074 who said, definitely Nintendo, but it hasn't been the same since we lost Reggie.
Reggie's still with us, bro.
Reggie didn't die.
Don't talk about Reggie that way. He wrote a book.
It does seem like they're saying Reggie died.
Yeah, it
Reggie's
hadn't been the
not
same
dead.
since we lost Reggie.
Oh, no, but I do understand that. Doug Bowser isn't the same as Reggie.
No, he's just got the name. That's all.
He does
He
have
doesn't have Reggie's infectious charisma.
Exactly. Reggie was, it was cool having Reggie around. It was so strange. Reggie's like one of those he just made a career out of being like a CEO of different companies. I think he was like high up in like Pizza Hut or something.
I think you're right.
And then went to Nintendo. He like moved from pizza to games. They're related. Pizza and games go well together.
They go together like Nintendo and farming sims.
Like the Nintendo Direct and Farming Sims. I mean, Farming Sims come to Nintendo.
My bad. You're right. Anyway, we got D1 Usions of Grandeur. Says, kind of surprising. I always found Nintendos to be small and lackluster, but each their own. We still talking about Direct?
Okay, we're going to move past that joke. Yeah. And I think it all comes down to, are you interested in the type of games that Nintendo is going to feature? Because they're not for everybody. So if you aren't interested, if you don't like own a Nintendo console, then you definitely aren't going to think that they're very interesting. And also if you're just not into the type of games Nintendo does, because they are, although I think a lot of people like them, there are some people who just don't get into them.
Yeah, they're not for everybody, but they're for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So if you're not really into the Nintendo thing, I couldn't imagine watching a Nintendo Direct and finding interest in it.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah, because it's not like, why would you watch them? I think that the PlayStation like State of Play and the Xbox presentations, at least, even if you don't own them, oftentimes they feature third-party stuff that will be going around and being on PC and other consoles. So you could still like watch them to find out what games are upcoming just in the industry.
Right.
Like the RE4 remake and like Suicide Squad and stuff, because those games are coming to Xbox. They're not just coming to PlayStation. And they're going to be on, I'm sure they'll be on PC and stuff too in time. So, I think that the Nintendo stuff, you have to be into Nintendo to want to watch. So, next we have the Master Yoshi.
The Master Yoshi.
I think that this is, in my mind, this is the Yoshi dude who played with us on Smash the other night on Twitch.
That Demon Yoshi? That guy was so good.
I know. So I'm sure it's not, but that would be hilarious if it was. And he said, Nintendo literally only has Smash to offer for a good presentation. That doesn't mean it has good presentations all around. All in all, they're all equal.
I disagree. Even though it is nice when Nintendo always has that like back pocket move of, oh, by the way, here's the next Smash character.
Yeah, now they don't
That
have
can
that
save
anymore.
a crappy Direct just like that. I mean, Yoshi's right on that.
Yeah, and I think that I'm going to guess that judging by this comment that you are a Smash player and you're a Yoshi main. That got to be right.
Hot take.
Hot take. But yeah, and it is kind of sad. I remember when we first started Gaming Gig was when they announced the very last DLC character and they were like, okay, Smash Ultimate is pretty much, done in terms of content. And we were like, it's going to be sad that we're not going to have, that Nintendo's not going to have that like back pocket move of always like being able to reveal a new Smash character.
Yeah, and I always loved just like, if I was bored, jumping on Reddit and being like, who does people think
Who's
the
coming
next character is going to be,
Right.
So, yeah, it's always sad when that ends.
Right. I don't think Smash is over, though. I think it's just going to take a few more years before we start getting more Smash stuff.
Now, Smash isn't over.
Yeah.
I don't think Ultimate's over.
Well, yeah. I really do think that the next Smash game is going to be live service. And I think it's going to be the ongoing Smash game that lasts from that we isn't going to have a few years time. I think it's going to be like an indefinite amount of time. And they just keep updating it.
Could be.
It's just, and they just go back to calling it like Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah. And you know what I would do if that game did get announced? I would stream it on our Twitch, Randy. You like that segue?
I do.
So we do want to shout out our Twitch channel. It is twitch.tv/gameandgig. Easy to remember. We stream on there about 3 days a week unless we miss one. Full disclosure. But about 3 days a week. We do Fortnite, we do Sea of Thieves, we do Smash, we do kind of whatever we want, honestly. And there's a whole lot of us. It's not just me and Randy. In fact, sometimes we're not even there. So come over and hang out with us.
Yeah, we
It's
got
a
lots
good
of
time.
friends who hang out with us on there. And yeah, we want you to come join us on Twitch. Right now, specifically, we're streaming on Thursdays, Sundays, and Tuesdays. And yeah, so come check us out on Twitch and hang out with us.
Heck yeah.
All right, it's time for the 3 for Dale Club, Daniel.
Oh, my favorite.
My favorite. This week, the 3 for Dale Club has 4 people in it. Again,
3 for Dale plus 1.
3 for Dale plus 1. That's right. We got Guy. Guy, thank you for being part of the 3 for Dale Club.
We got Rowan something.
Again, you guys are awesome. Landon Stallings.
And Punchy Punch.
You guys are the best. If you want to be part of the 3 for Dale Club, here's what you do. You made it all the way to the end of this video. That's
Bless
all
you.
you got to do. So now put a comment on this video, on the YouTube version of the video, saying 3 for Dale. And if you do that, we'll shout you out at the end of the next podcast.
Heck yeah, we appreciate you.
All right, guys. Well, until next time, I'm Randy,
Which makes me Daniel.
and this has been Gaming Gig.
Peace out.